Hello and welcome back to Dreamwalker Tarot. My name is Dawn and this is the March reading for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Mercury. Please go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell for post notifications. This month, I'll be using the Celtic Cross spread, and the first card that came out in the position of your current situation is the Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands is really like a defensive type of energy. It's usually happening as the result of a discrepancy or a dispute, likely one that has kind of caught you off guard, and it feels like you're trying to defend your position and to stand your ground. What is crossing the Seven of Wands is the Six of Wands in reverse. And so this is an indication that there is like a kind of like a loss that's happening here as a result of, like it's a dispute, and also you're being defensive or feeling like you're defending your ground. I feel like there is a certain sort of a loss attached to this dynamic. In pulling clarifiers for the Six of Wands, what came out was the Garden, the Stars, and Fish. I'm using the Lenormand Oracle deck as clarifiers for these cards, just so that you know. And so, okay, this is kind of looking like a situation where you might be feeling like your public name or the way that you're viewed is kind of like taking a hit. This is about like your public image, the value of your public image, the value of the way that you're being seen out in public or in the community that you're in. This could even be like just your family or at work. I feel like you are defending your name, you're defending your honor, and it's something that happens that kind of like comes out of the blue, that comes out of nowhere, and you feel like you're scrambling. So something might be coming out that is going to kind of like tarnish your reputation or tarnish the way that you're viewed in the eyes of the public, and you are really like in a space of being defensive about that. Because you value your name and you value the way that you're viewed, or the way that you're seen, outside, So there is an element of that being attacked, or that kind of coming into play. And so I feel like this is the reason why you are being defensive. You could be defensive because something has come out. You feel like you have to defend your name and to defend your honor, because with the Six of Wands here, there's an indication that there is a loss of that, and so with the Seven of Wands, that, like I said, is like also very defensive energy. Also, there's also this idea that this could be hitting you in the position of your wealth or your finances, or whatever it is that is pertaining to like some sort of like finances or stability in terms of like financial wealth. And it doesn't necessarily have to mean that it's money, dollars, cash, but it's something that is valuable to you. It could be a principle, it could be an object, it could it could be the way that you feel about something, but whatever it is of importance and of value to you. And that is what is showing up here with the Fish card. It's, really talking about like abundance, but also something that has a little bit of value, whether it be your finances or like a business, right? And so this card is also asking you to think about what does being abundant or being in a position to have things, whether it be a quantity of things or whether it just, feeling like you're abundant with something. It could be family, it could be like a business, it could be, whatever it is that you have a lot of, like, what does that really mean to you? Because sometimes we tend to kind of focus on what we have in terms of the quantity of it, but not really on the value of it. And I feel like this card is really kind of calling for you to kind of take a look at where it is that you might not be looking at the value of something in terms of, what it means to you, especially with the idea or the concept of the potential for that thing to be kind of like lost to you. With the star card here, it's really just a matter of like, of dreaming or hopes, like your highest hopes and your highest dreams. And I kind of feel like something is happening that you, like I said, you're feeling defensive about something that's attached to your ability to attain like your highest goal and your highest dream. Like I said, this again, there is like some defensive energy. In the Six of Wands card, you see she's like on stage, she's like a star, she's, this is like her moment of highest success. It's like the peak of something that could happen to you, and it feels like that is being threatened in some sort of way, and I feel like you're also defending that. So moving into the position of the past of the situation, the card that came out for that is the Death card. So there is absolutely, the Death card in reverse, there absolutely is a sense of loss here with the Death card. The implication of this card is that something has come to an end, but also it's the indication that there needs to be, or you've come to the point where there has to be some sort of transformation or some sort of change that needs to happen. The Death card is indicating that there is a resistance to change. There's a resistance in transforming the ways or habits or practices that you used to have in the past. And that is kind of what's leading up to this situation where now you're feeling defensive and feeling like you're at the risk of losing something. In the reverse, the Death card is really talking about, financial, sorry, I don't know why I said financial. It's really talking about personal transformation, right? It could mean that you need to let go of the past ways of looking at things, the past ways of acting, the past cycles, past patterns, and to kind of relinquish that in order for your future to be bright. And I feel like you kind of haven't done that, right? And so that is kind of like the reason why you're moving into this space right now, where now you are having to defend your honor and the way that you are, kind of like showing up in the public. So I want to pull some clarifiers for that. The cards that came out for the Death card is the Tree, the Crossroads, and the Book. And so the Tree here is also, like I said, this is also coming up about transformation, right? It's about change, because the tree is rooted. It's a long, deep-seated thing that's been happening for a while. And so it's not just something that is happening today, right? Trees take a long time to grow, a long time to develop. But I feel like I said, there's a resistance to the aspect of development. And so that is kind of playing a factor here. But also too, the tree is also talking about spirituality and also health, with the Crossroad card here and the Book card here. A lot of this has to do with your health in the past. So you might have had an illness in the past, you might have been sick in the past, and so coming out of that illness, there was a need for you to kind of like change maybe the way you ate, maybe the things that you did, reducing your stress, getting rid of certain things in terms of that, in order to be able to kind of like deal with your health, and really kind of tapping into like your spirituality to help you deal with the situation. But that's the past of what is happening right now. And so some of you might be kind of going through like a health scare situation. And so you might not necessarily be, this health issue might not be something that a lot of people know about, and now it's kind of coming out, or you've been trying to kind of keep it a secret, and so now it's like public information. But there's also this idea here about tests, like, going to the doctor, getting a physical health check. I feel like some of you might need to get a physical health check. Go to the doctor, get checked out, and make sure that your health is in good condition. But also, this is really like an opportunity to grow, right? Whatever this dynamic is that you're feeling defensive about, I feel like you might want to kind of like take a step back and look at the situation, from a different perspective, to see if there's an opportunity for you to grow, and what factors, if this is like a health thing going on, is like contributing to your inability to grow, right? There's a need here to really get grounded, to get stable. If it's coming up again, like I feel like there's a lesson here for you that you might not necessarily have learned. And so I want to go into the rest of the cards to kind of see what it's saying. In the position of the conscious, right? So what is known to you is being represented here by the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is like an energy where, you are literally doing all the things that you need to do. You're putting in the work. You're making sure that you're handling all your like mundane responsibilities, and, just trying to like move forward to work hard, to secure your future. To make sure that you have everything that you need on a financial note, to navigate, in this world and throughout your life, right? So I feel like you're really in a space where you're doing hard work, and I feel like that is kind of like your focus, coming out of like if there was like a health scare, or whatever this death card is signaling in terms of like releasing and letting something go. I feel like your focus instead of that is you kind of like jumped into work, like you feel like that's what you have to do, and that's what needs to get done, and so that's what you're doing. On a subconscious level, though, the card that came out is the Magician in reverse. The Magician in reverse to me is a symbol of like a manipulation of energy. And so this can be like an outside person, an outside factor, subconsciously kind of like manipulating their energy in the dynamic of your situation. If you are kind of being like, it feels like being put on blast, right? It feels like you're being put on blast. And so there is like an element here that someone is manipulating the energy, whether it be like on a spiritual note, or whether it just be them trying to like kind of like work in the shadows. But this person here is definitely the type of kind of manipulating the energy. The Magician to me is an indication of like an earth sign, really a Virgo energy or an Aries energy. And so that could be a person that's involved in this dynamic. They are kind of cloaked and shielded. They're not necessarily operating out loud for everyone to see whatever it is that they're doing, but they are doing it in a way that they're trying to kind of like pull some things out into the public, out into, to the surface about you or regarding you. The Magician in reverse could also be you, right? And so this is like an indication that if you aren't really stepping into the space where you're focused on all the aspects of yourself and not just on the financial aspects of yourself, you're leaving money on the table, so to speak, right? So you're not tapping into your full potential, into your full energies. You're not really tapping into your ability to access all the talents that you have. You're just simply not doing that, right? There is an aspect here with this dynamic Six of Wands energy that you really have like this dream and this vision for yourself and for your life and where you want to go. But I feel like you're having difficulty kind of making those things come true. I feel like you might not necessarily be recognizing the power that you have. And so I feel like that's kind of what's happening on the subconscious level, and kind of like factoring into the situation. I feel like you might not have a clear vision or view about where it is that you're going or what it is that you want. And also to the Magician reverse, like I said, it also indicates that there is some sort of like manipulation or some type of trickster energy type of going on. And sometimes this can be like you didn't see it coming. Like I said, with the Seven of Wands, it's like some defensive energy that kind of catches you off guard, right? So those are the factors, like I said, that could be happening on a subconscious level. The next card in the position of the near future is the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. And so that can go back to, like I said, this energy of the Magician, which is someone that is operating kind of like in the darkness. The Queen of Pentacles could be a Virgo, but it could also be a Taurus or a Capricorn individual. This can also be indicating like some sort of financial independence, away from like the family, or kind of like focused on your money. Like I said, again, with the Nine of Pentacles, it's really like a focus on yourself and your finances. But this can also be a conflict at home due to the fact that you work so much or that you're working a lot. And that is something that is kind of creeping up into the situation. The Queen of Wands is also like a kind of a individual that isn't really concerned about nurturing everyone else. At this point, it feels like they're kind of like focused on their self and on. So I do feel like there is a sense here that you need to nurture yourself, that you need to be eating well, that you need to kind of be like focused on what's going on with your own self and your needs. And so if this is like a thing about like having to choose between work and home, I feel like that there's a little bit of a discrepancy between that. And so there is like a sense that you do need to focus on yourself and work on your own health and put your own health at the forefront, especially with what came up before about the death card and about the health card and getting like tests and stuff. I feel like you do need to be paying attention to your health more. I feel like work is consuming a lot of your time. And so it's like you don't have time for anything else. And so that is kind of like affecting like your home life, right? But also too, there is a sense that this Queen of Pentacles person is an outside person that might be at the cause of the dissent or the argument. Like I said, she could be kind of like revealing you, but I do want to pull clarifiers for that to kind of like see where that's going. Okay, so the clarification cards for the Queen of Pentacles in reverse are the Ring, the Ship, and the Letter card. And there are a couple of things happening here. So okay, some of you could be married to a Queen of Pentacles individual, so an earth sign, right? Or this earth sign could be someone who is on the outside. Regardless of what, this person does have some sort of issue in terms of wanting a commitment here with the Ring card. And you might have made a commitment to this person. They might feel like you're not honoring that commitment. This could be your spouse here with the Ring card. The Letter is really an indication of like a contract or a promise to marry. So it might be like falling apart, or they might feel like you're not honoring your commitments or your contracts in terms of what you promised in this situation or in this dynamic. And so it's leading to a bit of a conflict, but also too, I feel like there is like a discrepancy within yourself about whether or not it is that you want to honor this contract or honor this relationship, because there is a sense of exploration here with the Ship card, is that you're kind of like struggling with a commitment because you still feel like there's things that you want to do, there's things that you want to explore, there's places that you want to go. And so the Ship card here is really talking about distance, is talking about voyage. This could be a long distance relationship that you could be in a long distance relationship with someone. This could be you going on an overseas business trip. This is getting away from your family, getting away from your commitments. I feel like in the near future, that is kind of like what you're going to be doing due to this like whole, situation that is happening right now. So that is something to be mindful of. I don't know if I trust this Queen of Pentacles person, to be perfectly honest with you, especially with the Magician card in reverse. I feel like there's really some like manipulative energy happening here. possibly to cause the end of something else in your life, but I do kind of feel like exposure energy, right? Like you're going to be exposed by someone that might not necessarily be around you. They might be away from you, but at the same time, you know, it has to do with commitment and your promise of commitment, and maybe you not honoring that or they not honoring your commitment elsewhere. In the position of what you're currently doing at your current actions is the Five of Wands, which means that you're basically trying to avoid the conflict, right? You don't necessarily want to get into this fight. You don't necessarily want to deal with all this stuff that's happening. And so you're avoiding. What is happening is that there is a lot of tension in this. I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at you. When I saw the Five of Wands, it's kind of like, okay, so yeah, the avoidance. So it's causing a lot of tension and a lot of conflict. And so it's just a lot of challenges. And I feel like every time you feel like, you know, you deal with one, you put one flame out, I feel like another flame comes up. And so you're really just trying to avoid like the negative vibes and the negative energy. Yeah, because there's just a little bit too much going on. And I feel like a lot of avoidance, especially with the tension that's happening, particularly at home, like it just could be constant disagreements that's always happening. Okay, so the clarification cards that I pulled for the Five of Wands is the Clover and the Moon card. And so I kind of feel like you're not really taking this seriously. The Clover card is really like a lightheartedness. It's like the opportunity for something else. I feel like you're not really taking it seriously. You know, you're kind of like looking at it, trying to apply a little bit of humor in order to like avoid the situation. And you know, and just trying to like get around this by kind of like joking it off, or making it feel like it's not, you know, it's not that big of a deal. And this is in regards to with the Moon card, whatever it is that is being revealed. The Moon card is about revelation of things that are happening under the cover of night, kind of being revealed and put a spotlight on. And so a lot of you, like I said, might be in a space or position where something is coming out about you in a public way, and it's a secret that nobody is supposed to know, and it's coming out. And instead of you like really, you know, like I said, you're trying to avoid it really by just kind of joking it off and making it appear like it's not that big of a deal. In the position of like the subconscious influence that are happening outside of this is the Three of Wands in reverse, which is really like the Three of Wands is kind of like a delayed type of energy, right? I feel like you have this idea that you want to be expansive, you want to travel, you want to do different things, and I feel like there is a sense of not really planning and preparing properly, or not really, like I said, taking things seriously enough to kind of like institute a plan in terms of, you know, what you want to do. And I feel like there's a sense that you might feel like you're overcommitted. And so there is like a sense of frustration because I feel like things aren't necessarily working out the way that you want to. If you have taken a risk, I feel like you didn't necessarily think that this risk was going to turn out the way that it is. And so you know, like I said, there are a lot of things that are happening here in terms of your planning and your preparation, in terms of how you're handling the situation. And there are some unexpected delays and some unexpected blockages coming here with the Three of Wands. Really the way that the cards are laying out, and I said before, I really do not trust this Queen of Pentacles person, right? If you look at the way that these cards are laying out, the Queen of Pentacles person is looking at the Three of Wands card, and I feel like she is the reason for the delays. She's the reason for the distractions. I don't know how that's playing out in your own personal life, but whatever this dynamic here is with this Queen of Pentacles person is the reason for the delays. And so this outside influence that's having a factor on your situation is this Queen of Pentacles person. So just so that you're aware, right? I think also there is a sense here with the Three of Wands in reverse is that you're kind of like feeling like you're playing yourself small. Like there's so many opportunities that are available to you. And I feel like you might be kind of like regretful of not really taking advantage of opportunities and being able to create that life that you wanted for yourself here with the Magician in reverse. I feel like you're not necessarily taking advantage of all the opportunities that you have available to you, and the ones that you are taking are kind of like producing results that you did not necessarily think or intend to happen. In pulling clarification cards for the Three of Wands, I think, the cards that came out is the Child card, the Mountain card, and the Health card. And so this idea here with the Tree card is coming out is also an indication about health. So some of you could be having a sick child, and that could be something that kind of comes out like unexpectedly, and that causes a little bit of an obstacle, or is the result, it's going to end up causing you a little bit of delays in terms of the plans that you might have had for yourself. And that is, like I said, an outside influence here that's actually playing into the dynamics of this. So if you have so we had the other situation with this Queen of Pentacles. Another a possibility for this particular card is that you have a child who is a Queen of Pentacles person, who is a Earth sign person, and they might be ill, right? And so there is a sense that, you know, your health is actually being affected here, or someone, you know, within your circle or someone close to you that's an Earth sign, their health is being affected. There could be a sick child. There could be a child that comes up that's unexpected, that is causing like delays in the plans that you might have had. This might be like an unexpected pregnancy, you know, or it could also mean a health issue that you had as a child, kind of like reoccurring again as well. Yep, like I said, pregnancy, a sick child, unexpected childhood health issues reoccurring. And this is, like I said, is coming in the position of outside influences that are also affecting the situation, right? So take that for whatever that means for you. There's a couple of situations happening here. The card that is coming out for your hopes and your dreams and your fears is the Temperance card in reverse. This is an indication really that there needs to be some sort of rebalancing and realignment in your life. There's like an excess of energy that's being expended, and maybe not in the right directions, right? So the Temperance card is really trying to have you come into realignment with what your goals are, to kind of institute better plans, and really to kind of like take the things that need to be taken seriously, to avoid the delays that you might be encountering. And so pulling clarification cards for the Temperance card in reverse, the cards that came out: the Heart card, the Man in reverse. Well, it doesn't really matter if it's reverse or not, but the Man, the Birds, and the Sun. And so the Sun is really you, right? And so this is like a temporary thing. So this defensive energy and this little shuck up that you're having right here is a temporary thing. At the end of the day, regardless of what, your heart is really kind of like in the situation. If you're having a discrepancy with someone, your heart is really in it. This is somebody that you have affection for. If it's your child, obviously you have affection for them. If this is your wife, obviously you have affection for them. And so if you are the man in this equation, then there is like a sort of imbalance and a need to really kind of like check where you're investing your energy, and how you're investing your energy when it comes to the people that are around you. And also, like I said, there is like a sense of like the birds is like gossip and talk. And so there is this element here of things coming out into the public about you, that kind of give you, it's going to make you a little nervous. It's going to put you on a little bit of a shaky ground, but it's the opportunity to rebalance and reevaluate what it is that's important to you or not. And so with the Sun card here, it is like a temporary a temporary situation that's going to be happening that's going to cause these delays in your life. It could be, like I said, this outside influence here from the Queen of Pentacles. It could be, for some of you, could be an illness that kind of comes out, or a pregnancy. But there is really an opportunity here to kind of like rebalance your life and reevaluate and really sit down and plan and figure out what it is that's important to you and what it is that you need to put and invest your energy into. The final outcome card is the Nine of Wands. And if you look at the Nine of Wands, it's really kind of like coming through a battle, and really being a little bit bruised, a little bit, injured as a result of this battle, but really standing strong and coming out, victorious with a new perspective on life and on the direction that you want to take, a re-energized sort of energy, because, you did survive this battle. It might have felt like you weren't going to, but you do and you will. And so as a result, you're kind of like standing back and kind of like overlooking where you've come from and, the things that you've gone through recently and really taking stock of that. And so this is going to be a difficult time for you guys. You're going to be going through some obstacles. You're going to be going through some things, but you will be okay. And no matter how battered you are at the end, if there's a lesson here to be learned, you will learn it. And you really will be paying more attention to, like I said, how you want to navigate moving forward, making better plans and really taking advantage of the things that are important to you and not kind of like focusing on the things that are not important. So I'm going to pull some advice cards for you guys. The advice card that came out is the Autumn card, which says to release the old and rest. The message here is to release all of the pressure and expectation weighing you down. Shed it all so that you can recover before moving into a time of renewal. Autumn is when the trees are preparing for the long, cold winter and must let go of all the weight that they are carrying in order to continue to grow and prosper. Sometimes you too just have to surrender an aspect of yourself in order to continue to grow and prosper. The raven on the Autumn card shows that there is an opportunity to heal at this time. In Celtic animal medicine, the raven is the bird of healing and initiation. The healing it brings is a shift that allows you to move into a more powerful psychic space where you can be more aware of your needs and desires and be better supported. Do you know what is heavy, what is holding you back? Is it a person, a situation, a dream? Like the trees letting go of their leaves and fruit in the autumn, it's time to let it go. When you hold on, you try to control reality, and that never works. When you let go, you make space for the new to enter your life. You're being guided by your angels and nature herself to release whatever is stopping you from moving forward, and you can do this. When the Autumn card arrives in the future position of a spread or is the last card in a reading, it can also indicate that the coming autumn will usher in important energies with regards to your question or intention. And so that just basically means that whatever it is that you're going through now, expect that it will be a position to heal and to release and to let go in the coming fall. So you might be going through it this summer, right? You might be kind of, like I said, in a space where you're arguing and avoiding and information is coming out about you and everything that you love and care about, work and your work and health and your relationship and your family is going to kind of be in like a little bit of a turmoil. And this might be like your worst fear come true. But again, you're going to come through this situation battered, but not broken, and everything will work out, and it will give you the opportunity to shift an aspect of yourself that you've been struggling with for a long time, and to give you the opportunity to heal, which we, all really need to do, right? So just be aware of this. And this is the end of the reading. I hope this information helps you. Please let me know down in the comments how this is playing out in your life right now. Please share the video with someone who you think can benefit. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for post notifications. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate you, and I will see you soon.